Welcome back to Quantum Conversations. My name is Sarah, and today my co-host Carrie, Bennett, and I are going to be making these complex topics of quantum biology and circadian biology understandable to the everyday person. Thank you so much for tuning in. We ask that if you are listening on audio only, that you take a moment to leave us up to a 5-star review. And if you're on YouTube, leave us a like, leave us a comment. It will help to get the show out to more people. And before we jump into today's topic, just a quick reminder to head down to the show notes and check out my free resources as well as Carrie's free resources. We also do have courses on a variety of topics. If you are hoping to dive deeper, Carrie and I both have practitioner courses available as well for anyone who wants to begin to bring these topics to their clients and help them to implement these strategies into their daily lives. So check those out. We also have a co-taught course called Quantum Fertility that is available that allows people and practitioners to work on their fertility using these principles of quantum biology and circadian biology. Again, thank you so much for listening or watching today's show, whichever one you are doing. And let's go ahead and jump into it now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Quantum Conversations. Today, by popular demand, we're going to talk about beauty products, beauty routines.
Twist our arm.
Yeah. It's going to be a short one because Carrie and I are pretty, I don't know. I just don't do a whole lot of beauty routines. I know Carrie doesn't either, but
pretty simple. Yeah. Let's start. I think first and foremost, I would say that everyone's going to want to know like any products that we use, right? We're saving that for the end though.
Yeah.
Okay, people?
Yeah. Because it's not about what you put on. It's about what's happening inside. Right.
Totally. It totally is. It's things like adequate hydration in the body, right? It's about how well your lymphatic system is flowing and clearing things, right? Mm-hmm. I think those go such a long way. And so for beauty, specifically with this, we're talking about skin. Mm-hmm. And so I know for a fact that when I was experiencing back in the day, like puffiness, that's clogged lymph, right? So I really learned how to do a very gentle yet effective like drainage technique. Mm-hmm. I don't have my tonsils, right? I know that I need support up here. And so, once I started recognizing the need for lymph support, both via some gentle lymphatic massage, plus I've also utilized proteolytic enzymes as well. It's great. And then light, right? Light to support the flow of the lymphatic system as well. No. You said that you noticed a shift in things like cellulite even, right? From these types of supports, which is, that's huge, right? That's something where people would never think that could be done with simply understanding the lymphatic system and light.
Right. I mean, there's so much there that I feel like is helpful. And I just took your amazing hydration, or not hydration, but the easy water masterclass, which is phenomenal. I highly recommend it. If anyone wants to learn about this ability of the body to make water and maintain water, it's not about what you're necessarily drinking. It's about what you're doing. And one of the takeaways that I got from that, really, that I kind of already knew, but it was like you just put it so beautifully in the class, was stagnant lymph and lack of lymphatic flow is an easy water issue. So the body is not making enough water and it's not able to hold on to that negative charge. And so, I do some gentle lymphatic, just some drainage things. I just did the other day, just because I haven't done a castor oil pack. I did them a lot leading up to pregnancy. And I think it was really helpful. I would do some sauna with castor oil packs the first half of my cycle. That was beautiful and helpful. But I did one for the first time in a really long time with a nice hot water bottle, and I was breathing in hydrogen at the same time. And the next morning, then I sat in the sauna that day as well. And the next day, my husband was like, "What the heck did you do to your skin? Did you get like what is happening?" And I'm like, I think it was a castor oil pack because of what it does to the lymphatic system.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you just basically had like the most potent lymph combo there, right?
Right. The castor oil, the hydrogen, sauna.
I was at this lovely conference that was hosted by Tracy Dews this past weekend. And one of the speakers there was Tyler LeBaron. He's the head of the Molecular Hydrogen Institute. And it was just, those types of conferences, it's fun to hear the talks, but it's also fun to, pick the brains of people you respect. Behind the scenes. And so it was interesting that he indicated that there's some preliminary evidence that molecular hydrogen also helps to create structured water inside of the cell. So it has a pathway, an intersection with exclusion zone water. And so I'm excited to kind of nerd out with him some more on that, just to kind of suss out what that pathway looks like. So you're essentially doing everything that you needed in order to support lymphatic flow. And so for people who don't realize where the exclusion zone water comes into play, or if you're new here, this exclusion zone water is a gelled like water that lines vessels. It's also packed inside the cell. We're packed with this exclusion zone water. But in terms of lymphatic flow, picture lymphatic vessels that are lined with exclusion zone water. That's negatively charged. That negatively charged water forms a little bit of a proton zone. So to form a negative charge, it has to kick out a proton, a positive charge. And that positive charge, actually, when it gets kicked out, it helps to propel flow. Also, in the lymphatic system are things that are also surrounded by their own exclusion zone water. So that's why the flow also is facilitated, because two things with negative charge can't come into contact with each other. It's like touching two ends of a magnet together. They'll repel. So the combination of this proton ejection with the fact that you've got this exclusion zone water, that it kind of creates this repulsion that drives the flow of both the blood and the lymphatic system. And so if we have stagnation in either of those systems, in general, for me, it's a prime indicator that the body needs to do things that support exclusion zone water levels. Infrared sauna, infrared exposure, whether it's sunlight or sauna or both, are a great way to support this exclusion zone water all throughout the body, but including the lymphatic system. Combine that with doing things that will flow more, like sweating, for example, in the sauna. I can only imagine. It's like the perfect lymphatic combo right there. So no wonder you were glowing. And the fact that your husband said something.
Yes.
I mean, right? My husband's pretty observant, but I have to get a decent amount of hair chopped off or something like that to get
for them to actually notice a difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. That's great.
So, I think that is crucial when you're looking at health and beauty, because I know people ask all the time, what products do you use? And it's we'll talk about some of the things that we like and that we use, but this is a baseline. It has to be supported. And if there's stagnant lymph, you got bags under the eyes, you've got puffiness, bloated, you feel like you're retaining a lot of water. That's, and you said it again in your master class, is that really inflammation and these kind of disease states or stiffness, it's like when the body gets all puffed up, that's water. It's like the body's trying to flow water to those areas as an attempt to heal. So it's not like your body's doing something wrong. It's just it's really working hard. And that's why there's so much puffiness and inflammation there.
Yeah, exactly. And you can have that temporarily, temporarily you want, if I sprain an ankle and the body needs to repair some tissue, you want the blood, you want the immune system to be able to get into there and start to do the repair. But when you're lacking exclusion zone water indefinitely in certain parts, you're really just ultimately impeding flow. So it's the difference between an acute burst of inflammation that's okay, right, versus chronic. And when it's chronic, we know that's when the things can go awry. Both and the lymphatic drainage is great for skin health, but so many other things as well. That's the pathway that the cells are getting rid of stuff that no longer serve it, right? And so we wanted the cells to be able. Guess what the cells need to get rid of stuff in the first place? Exclusion zone water, right? They got to have this water is called exclusion zone because it pushes things away from it, right? And so if you have toxins intracellularly, you have to have enough exclusion zone water, right? You have to have enough easy water to get rid of it into the lymphatic system. And then you need that lymphatic system to be able to flow. So all of this for me comes down to exclusion zone water. And being at this conference, just speaking all about the aspects of every aspect of water, it's just becoming more and more clear how essential this is and what a unifying framework this is for human health.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've been asked several times, can you and Carrie do a podcast on mold? Can you do a podcast on parasites? Can you do a podcast on this? I'm like, it's all about the water. It's exclusion zone water. And if there's adequate voltage in the body, then these things can't thrive and they can't survive inside of your body because exclusion zone, it excludes them from getting into the mitochondria, correct?
Yeah, from getting into the mitochondria, into the cells.
The cell, yep.
Exactly. And so, yeah, it's a tough concept for people to wrap their brains around.
Because it seems too simple to actually be a thing, right?
Yeah. And we used to think the same thing, you and I, because we never used to apply sunlight or understand artificial light, right? Or grounding. And so I'm finding in all aspects of what I coach, the simple things that seem like they're too simple to be important are actually the most important things to focus on. I mean, we're not even talking about this today, but picture like chewing our food.
Right.
I mean, how important is that for optimum digestion?
Right.
And how many things can go awry? You need more stomach acid to digest it. If you can't produce that stomach acid, you're passing food on that can't be absorbed. You have nutrient malabsorption. You're passing these undigested proteins to the gut microbiome. That gut microbiome is going to over ferment perhaps and cause symptoms like SIBO. Right? I mean, like, it could all start with chewing.
So yeah. And then on the same kind of thread, like I don't see private clients very often, but I will take them on every once in a blue moon. So I took on a new one recently and she was like, I have the worst gut motility. I'm having to take all these like laxatives to go to the bathroom. It's very uncomfortable. And I was like, all right, so this is what I want you to try. I want you to go outside at sunrise and I want you to do a little bit of grounding and I want you to eat your breakfast outside at sunrise. And she's like, well, how's that? I'm like, just do it. Okay. And I'm like, I'm just telling you, this is just try it out. Okay. You're not doing it now. Just try it now. She messaged me today. I had a consult with her on Friday and we're on what, Tuesday? Emailed me this morning, Tuesday morning. She's like, oh my God. I've literally gone to the bathroom the last 2 mornings at 8:00 in the morning after just implementing this Saturday, Sunday. I'm like,
I know.
It's that simple. It can be that simple. It may not be for everyone, but for her, it was like going through all of her intake form. I'm like, she's really not doing a lot of stuff that I'm like, oh, like, I think this will be easy for her. And it was. And she's like, I can't believe that just happened. I'm like, I totally can.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely. Just wait until she optimizes UVA rise some more, right? All these things, right? Like
exactly. You're going to feel bulletproof.
So here's the thing too, because we've dealt with people who have been on very complex healing journeys, right?
Oh, yes. Very
and
much.
We're not saying that morning sunlight is going to solve everyone's problems.
No.
However, it's a foundation that has to be set.
If you're not doing it, you need to be doing it. It's got to be a foundation. Yeah.
It has to be. If you're not getting I had someone comment, I've had a lot of great comments on this gut health masterclass that I'm doing a launch for here. Things like, oh my gosh, this changed things, like really great feedback. But then there's always that one comment where it's like, well, I've been doing circadian stuff for a year. And it doesn't done anything. And or basically like I've done sunrise and blue blocking for a year and this hasn't done anything. I was just like, did you put any sunlight on your skin?
Right.
Like, like there's other ways.
So much in between sunrise and sunset.
Exactly. And it's like, for some people, I love this story from this particular client because that's great. How reinforcing now is everything that you're going to be saying in terms of having this experience. But it's like, just because you did sunrise, maybe you didn't do UVA. Maybe your body needs UVA more than sunrise. Some people need sunrise more than UVA. Some people need the sunlight on their skin. And I'm going to be a guarantee that I'm almost going to guarantee
I need it. Yeah.
Everyone who has gut inflammation needs that light on their belly. So it's like the number of people who have tried to heal from various leaky gut or what they think is parasites or, other gastrointestinal challenges without having ever seen sunlight on their skin, on their abdomen before. It's like,
it's important. That's important. What I'm going to do as soon as we get off here is get out there, get my belly in the sun. I mean, that is just literally my favorite thing to do.
It feels so good. When if I only have 5 minutes, I'll just go, just lift my shirt up outside, and lay on the grass. After this, I have a track meet I was telling you about, right? But I will have my Earth Runner sandals on and I will find grass to stand on during that track meet. I don't think they want to see me running around in a bikini on the track meet.
Yeah. I mean, there's, just to go back to what you were saying, I get those comments too. Like, I've been doing the circadian stuff for a year and I'm not seeing XYZ. And I'm like, well, there's a lot more besides just sunrise and sunset. There's a lot that happens in between. And then you'll have someone that's like, I get this a lot. I've been following your leptin reset program, but I'm at XYZ. And I'll ask them, well, what have you been eating? And you're like, well, I still have cake. I have like,
I know.
That's not in the plan. I'm still eating sourdough bread. I'm like, but that is not in the plan. So sometimes I'll see those comments and I'm like, this may be worth a conversation, a one-on-one, coming into my private group, dissecting things, looking at things deeper, because I'm not saying this is a cure-all for everything, but it moves the needle big time for people. And especially when it comes to like health and beauty, it is huge. Because if you can't poop, your skin's not going to look good. Yeah. You got to get that morning. When you get these circadian things dialed in, and for many people, it is as simple as getting a ton of morning light, eating a nice protein and fat satiating breakfast outside if you can. Yeah. The artificial light at night. Those two things I see time and time again. People have that great, morning poop. Totally. I'm not offending people with saying that here, but that it's just what happens. And it's very regular. It's been that way for me for a really long time. And I was the queen of digestive issues. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. Every morning I'm going to the bathroom now. It's interesting, and it's, the gut clock is timed up properly now.
And like, as you were saying, right, if you're not pooping out the toxins, the only other outlet they really have to go through is through the skin. If your gut is inflamed, the only other thing that's going to happen is, you're going to ultimately see manifestations in the skin. And so, these are really relevant, even though we're kind of off track from actual beauty, like products and stuff. These matter, right? And so that's part of it too. So adequate hydration, adequate exclusion zone water, good lymphatic flow, poop regularly, right? These are foundational.
And sweat too, I think, can be really helpful. Which in my stories this weekend, I posted myself from inside the sauna, and because I was like dripping sweat and it felt so good. And the amount of people that commented back in my stories and said, I can't sweat. I was like, wow, that's not good.
So Sarah knows this, right? But that's a symptom for me of main symptom for lack of exclusion zone water.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that basically means you got to start building that up.
And it's an inside job. It's really an inside job.
Yeah. Perhaps your mitochondria are also not functioning well enough to make adequate water.
Right?
Yeah. Redox. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, I love sweating. I think sweating, I always do feel like I look and feel better after a good sweat session.
Totally.
Something that I really like too, in terms of the face, I love so I use, for some of the products that I use Living Libations, Nadine's. I love Nadine's stuff. And one of them is a sea buckthorn oil, right? It's it's phenomenal. I love it. But don't underestimate massage.
I massage my face constantly. Yeah. I'm like, whenever I'm sitting, I'm like doing this with my face, and I'll go under here and kind of do some drainage. Like, I'm always kind of,
people don't realize, we're always talking about like collagen. And so we use red light therapy, you and I, right? Because that's going to promote collagen production.
Not the collagen that you take.
Right.
There's a lot of problems with that.
Sometimes, although I have some caveats to that, but maybe we won't go into that today. But that being said, different episode. There you go. That being said, I don't think people realize, because we're talking about like collagen, and a lot of people are trying to apply topical hyaluronic acid as a plumper. It can, right? Absolutely. But what people don't realize is that our own fascia makes hyaluronic acid for us in response to compression. So like simply holding like points, right? For like, I don't know, typically 90 seconds, 2 minutes, somewhere in there, you're actually causing your own fascia to make hyaluronic acid. And if you're appropriately hydrated, that's pulling in water into the area, and it has a natural smoothing effect, if you will, right? So we're a lot of what we're doing is like from the inside out, like regenerating the collagen with red light therapy. I love massage. And so I don't know, did I tell you this? Bon Charge. Thank you, Bon Charge, for this.
Oh
This was
yeah, you
right.
showed me. I want to get one now. It looks so
I
cool.
know. Okay, so that's right. I showed you. So my community knows that I did a long road trip about 2 weeks ago or so. So we had 15 hours in the car one way, 15 hours back. And right before I left, Bon Charge, which makes some great red light therapy products, great blue blocking glasses, light bulbs, things like that. They sent me a new product of theirs, and it's called like their wand, their red light wand or something along those lines. What is it called? It's called okay, so let me pull this up. It's called their red light face wand.
Okay, I'm getting it today.
Yeah.
That looks so soothing.
It is. It's almost looks like picture almost like a shaving razor, but instead of the blades, it has like a tiny little patch of like red light therapy, and it has a very mild vibration to it, and it has enough infrared that it actually starts to heat up and warm up. So you're getting it's something that builds exclusion zone water. So I'm like in the car, and I'm like slowly rubbing it over my face for hours and hours. And no joke, it is rejuvenating. I loved it. And the little bit of the micro vibration that helps the lymphatic drainage. So I would start by opening like my drainage ports, right, and kind of like working up. And then I was just and then the warmth, that's exclusion zone water, the compression, the hyaluronic acid, like no joke, that I haven't been able to do that in like a week, and I need to get back to it, because not only do I think it's phenomenal for skin, it is so soothing.
I was going to say it's got to be doing great stuff for the nervous system as well, and just kind of like
so good, good.
What's your code at Bon Charge? Because I'm going to go buy one, and then I'm sure everyone like needs to go buy. Is going to want to buy one after listening to this.
Yeah, let me shoot. Okay,
because I don't have one. I haven't.
Oh, I'll find it really quickly here, because you're right. Yeah, the code will save you at least. I think it's like 15 or 20%. Code Carrie B for 20% off.
Okay, Bon Charge, Carrie B. Okay,
yeah, Carrie.
I'm getting it after we finish recording.
Go get it. It's seemingly so like, what the heck is that? At first when I got it, I was like, what? And then I started trying it. I'm like, I am so grateful, especially like on that car ride. I was like, I'm so grateful I have this right now.
Oh yeah.
So that's a combination of like, that's all that combines with what we were talking about, right? The red light therapy, the lymphatic stuff. So these are things beyond like what we put on our face.
Yes.
But I do love living libations. So can I tell you about my skincare routine?
Yes, please do.
So typically I only splash water on my face and maybe use a gentle washcloth if I need to, or with Nadine's stuff, I have her sea buckthorn it's called Best Skin Ever sea buckthorn oil. And she does such a beautiful job of sourcing like stuff that doesn't have any garbage in it whatsoever. Right. It's all natural. And so you put a couple pumps on your face and massage it. And then you could use a warm washcloth if you want to use more of a deeper cleansing. So you can use the oil to cleanse, or then you could also just use the oil just as a moisturizer. And so, but that's what I'll do. I'll typically use something like that. That's a summer one. More winter is tallow for me. Summer, I use but like spring, summer, fall. I like this spring buckthorn quite a bit. Have you ever used, and she's very reasonably priced with her stuff. Nice. So I really love that. This is my unreasonable priced stuff, but I also love it too. One of my colleagues who I think is fascinating, her name is Veronica Panagopoulos. She's Health Doll.
Okay. I've been meaning to look her up. Okay.
She is a brilliant human being. Right. And so I was listening back in the day to one of her Instagram lives, because I love everything that she teaches. It's just so fascinating to me. And she did one on like the biophysics of beauty. So that's who we should potentially have on, as Veronica.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But that being said, she introduced me to a product called Herbal Face Food, a company, which it's another all natural like blend of herbal ingredients. Now, so they've got a serum and an eye cream. And I love both of them. And the eye cream is like stupid expensive. So I know in the comments I'm going to get comments about that. But I think I have a code there. Try Carrie. Try Carrie B, or Carrie B Wellness. Try those. Those are generally my codes. And so that being said, I used my own code.
I do that all the time.
Right there you go. To get a discount on this. And I only use the serum. I only use the serum once every week or two, like a couple times a week. No, so not all the time. I don't have time to do a lot of this stuff. but no joke, it feels good. It feels nourishing. It feels like it creates like just a glow, and their eye cream is amazing. It's amazing. It's a stupid amount of money. People, don't judge me. It's the bottle is the jar is supposed to last like 9 months. So that was what gave me consolation, but holy cow, it was phenomenal. I think it's phenomenal.
I'm going to check those out. And I use the EMR Tech. They have a vitamin C green tea serum.
Oh, yeah.
That's I really like too. That. I always feel like my skin feels smoother. It looks better after I use it. So a lot of times I will I'll put my face into the cold plunge. I've got a cold plunge. So I'll throw my face in there for 10 seconds on, come out, breathe, go back in. And then I'll go stand in front of the red light panel right after I do the cold. And put some of the serum on. And that seems to be a pretty powerful combo, just for kind of encouraging the body to do what it needs to do to have like better, clear, good skin.
I love that one. Yeah, that's a great reminder. One of my favorite things is to use that herbal face food prior to red light therapy on my face. Just feels like it, like you said, enhances the absorption. Enhances the effect. So that's great.
Yeah.
So. And that's it. And then at night I will. And then you and I mean, we wear mascara, right?
Yeah, that's about it. I don't even know the name mascara. Of this. Okay. I don't know the brand of mine. I know it's natural. I get everything that I buy is like, if I buy anything is, I look at the Natural Minded Mama, Erin.
She's my go-to resource for everything.
She always posts good swaps and beauty products. If someone really does want to wear a lot of makeup, which I don't, it's mostly like mascara. Every now and then I'll throw on a little something if I have to do a big filming thing, but today it's just literally mascara and that's it. And it's some brand that she recommended. It's the Natural Minded Mama. I always think if I need to buy makeup, I'm going to go and look at her page. I also just started using, I used Fancy Farm forever. I love Fancy Farm. I think my code over there is like Sarah 10. Cause I've been using their Bare Rub forever. But they are so like sold out all the time. They're so popular. And I'll use, if I want to use deodorant, which is not often, but sometimes I'm like, I will use a little deodorant if I need to just make sure that I need it, it depends on hormonally the time of the month for me too, of whether or not I'll actually get body odor when I sweat. It's very odd. And also what I've been eating, if I haven't been perfect with my nutrition, I know I'll get some body odor if I'm not careful. So I use their deodorant. But they're always out. And so I have no affiliation with her stuff, but Angelica, I think she has done one of our courses. She has this company, Sun and Moo.
Cool.
I love her. And she sent me a bunch of products a few months ago, but I couldn't get an order from Fancy Farm when I really needed it. And she has a great, great tallow cream. It's got some other things in it called Age Reverse that I love. It's like really velvety and smooth. And I'll put that on usually at night after I take a nice magnesium soak. And I absolutely love it. It's just like really, really smooth. And it's not like heavy.
Sun and Moo.
Sun and Moo. I don't have a code or anything like that, but her products are really nice and she ships all over the world.
That's great. Yeah, I'll check that out as well. I love that. Sometimes for my legs and stuff like that, I like to use tallow all summer long too. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else beauty wise? No, my latest addition was that little wand.
I'm getting it today. I don't know. I think the castor oil that I use is Queen of Thrones. I don't have a code for that. They've reached out to me a bunch of times to get a code and sign up. And I'm just like, I just don't need to have any more codes.
Let me maybe.
Do you have one?
I might, because they've reached out to me as well. So my herbal face food code is Carrie B20, B20. And my Queen of Thrones is Carrie B Wellness 10 for 10% off.
Nice. So, yeah. And they've got really great castor oil. And I love their packs too, because
it makes it so easy to use. So much easier.
So I used to go to the health food store and buy the big wool cloth to do the castor oil, because that's what you want to use as a nice wool, like a wool cloth. You don't want to use certain fabrics. And it was so messy. I would have to cover my couch with like all these towels and then just get it everywhere. And it's disgusting. And so their packs have a nice like cloth on one side. And then the other side you can use as the pack and they tie on. They have different sizes. Like they have a thyroid one. Sarah Pugh's been using the thyroid one that, and it's interesting enough. I know she probably won't mind me saying, she had gotten some labs before she came here and she had not really high, but she had some thyroid antibodies. And she was like, oh, that's kind of concerning. And so she's been doing a lot of experiments here to see if she can get those down. One of the things she was doing was a castor oil pack on the thyroid, which is why I'm up on the castor oil right now.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And she did the castor oil packs on the thyroid and she did the hydrogen inhalation, which she really likes. And her antibodies went down by about, I want to say like 50 points.
That's cool.
In just about a week and a half.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So she's up on the castor oil packs right now, big time. And she's going to keep on doing, she's doing more experiments.
She's so fun with that. I love how much she's willing to do it. That's cool.
Yeah.
For hair really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever, people can know, I wash my hair like maybe once a week.
Same.
And I like it's clear water cultures. I like their shampoo bars. I never thought I'd like a shampoo bar or anything like that. And I tried the no poo like you did before, and I just can't do that. So clear water cultures is what has been my go-to for quite some time. They make that's the only product I've tried there, but I really, really like it.
Yeah, I'll have to try them out. I have told people and in my group, like I quit doing the no poo thing after my baby was born and was like puking in my hair. And you just get like breastfeeding and like the newborn stage, you just get like grimy, you know?
Get grimy, yeah.
I was like, I just really want to just wash my hair with soap. And so I think it was about 18 months of no poo and my hair looked great and everyone would always compliment me. But since I had the newborn and was breastfeeding and just like getting goo and stuff all over myself, I started back with my regular shampoo and conditioner. And I haven't found a brand that I love yet that, doesn't, and I haven't been wanting to go through the whole no poo thing again. Cause it's a process and you have to deal with kind of grime for a little bit. And so, yeah, I get asked that question all the time. Like, what are you doing for your hair? Are you still doing the egg yolks? Are you still doing apple cider vinegar? I'm like, no, I'm just using the regular stuff. That's not ideal, but sometimes I can go 2 weeks without washing my hair and it's fine.
Right.
So
the frequency absolutely matters, right? It's how many times are you exposing yourself to that? So absolutely. And you have enough redox and exclusions on water to handle it. So
that's the thing. Like somebody went off on me in my stories, like, I don't know, a few weeks ago, cause I was wearing a leisure suit, like a cute little jogging pants. And they were like, why are you wearing those? They're going to attract EMFs. And it's like a death level 15 fabric. And I was like, also death level 15 is called, I'm stressed out about everything I do.
Yeah. Fear.
I'm not going to wear them in the sauna. I'm not going to sweat in them. They're cute little pants I'm going to wear to the grocery store or whatever. And like, you can't just like live and die by fear all the time.
Fear, and then be in a bubble, like live in fear and be in a bubble.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Fear.
Yeah.
Fear is by far worse.
Yeah. And if I go in the sauna, I'm usually not wearing anything at all because
naked.
It's in my house in the back and there's fences and no one can see it. And, I'm careful if I'm going to be sweating or something like that or out in the hot sun with, I try to wear linen or 100% cotton. I am careful, and underwear that I wear, bras.
Tight fitting clothing, like
anything
that for sure.
Tight fitting, close to the body.
You're sweating.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, with the whole beauty thing, I always say, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Do your best and make small changes. And, some people, like we were talking about before we started this conversation, they do feel good wearing makeup and they do feel good getting their hair done. And I really don't think there's anything wrong with that. As long as you're finding good natural alternatives. That's why I like Erin, Natural Minded Mama, and her, she's got great beauty swaps and great products that are non-toxic and better for your skin.
Yeah.
Go that route. But I don't want to demonize or make anyone feel bad because they enjoy wearing a little bit of makeup. It's just not really, I just don't have the time or energy, and I can just get away with wearing mascara and still, I feel good about myself with makeup or no makeup. And it took me a long time to get to that place, but
no. When I get really tan in the summer and like my eyelashes are blonder, my eyebrows are blonder. My kids, I had my 12-year-old, he was just like, you look weird without mascara. Thank you. Thanks. I mean, I still go without it, right? I'm like, it's just funny. Yeah. It's just funny. But yeah, no, that's just it. Like, I don't want to, I don't care if you want to wear makeup.
Yeah, that's the thing.
If you want to wear Lululemon, and I don't care. Like,
I'm not here to judge anybody what they do.
And however you feel good in life. Like it doesn't impact me, and you need to work within the realm of what you feel works for you.
Right.
Works for you, your budget, how you feel about yourself. I mean, there's so much there. Like, I can't imagine if I mean, it would cost an insane amount of money to wear like only organic.
Oh yeah.
All the time.
I'd rather spend my money on like a nice pair of grounding shoes and a hydrogen machine, like good Quinton minerals. Like
totally. Exactly.
I'd rather spend my money on that stuff than like going all out on this like organic, and it like clothes don't even like really look that good. I don't know. I haven't found any that I really love.
We both like, I like Packed, but
yeah, Packed is good.
They're basic. So I mean, they're pretty basic. So I like Packed. But yeah. Let me think. Anything else with beauty here?
I mean, I just mentioned the minerals. I think the minerals are really important for like, because people always ask me what I do for my hair, and it's like, I naturally have thick hair. Like it's just, I know part of that is genetics, but also, I have other family members that have really thin hair and we have the same genetics. So I know that it has to do with proper nutrition, eating a good amount of bioavailable protein every single day.
Being able to digest it.
Being able to digest and absorb the protein that I'm eating, getting adequate sunlight and the minerals. I think that really goes a long way in appearance and beauty and skin, was what you're nourishing yourself with. Totally. Egg yolks, salmon roe, like the wild seafood. I do a lot of that I think is really helpful for skin health as well.
Healthy fats for sure.
Very good healthy fats. Yep.
Just speaking of which though, too, then would be, I think the final note is, we are aware of our sun exposure on our face.
Yes.
Because the sun can age and degrade collagen. It absolutely can.
Yep.
So again, you have to decide what works for you. Like, I'm not willing to forego total sun exposure on my skin for beauty. It just doesn't feel like a smart swap for me. But I do know that after I get what I consider my appropriate sun signaling, and it's different for everyone, so you have to determine for you. I throw a hat on. So today, when I go to this track meet, I'm not going to start with a hat on, but I'm absolutely going to have a hat on hand to put it on if I want to. Right. You have to decide what works best for you.
Yeah. In my stories over the weekend, I had a photo of myself kind of like laying out in the sun, and my face was shaded, but my body was in the sun. And I got so many messages of like, why is your face in the shade? Why are you doing that? Why? And I'm like, because I don't want wrinkles. I just don't want to. I know you can photo age your skin, and you can still get the benefit, like a lot of the benefits of sunlight. Your body is going to get it from here down. And then there's also benefits of sunlight when you're in the shade as well. Sure. It's not, you don't always have to be in direct sun. Direct sun is more for vitamin D.
UVA to lower blood pressure. It is still good for mitochondrial function. I mean, it's good for a lot of things, but like you said, you can
get it on parts of your body and shade others, Yeah. So it doesn't have to be
all. You might get range for that one, but that's the truth. Like you don't need to always expose all of your body to the sun in order to get the benefits of sunlight. So.
Exactly. And here's the thing, like I don't care if I get reamed. It's me. I'm telling what I'm doing. Like
same,
like, cool, do what you want to do. Go lay your face in the sun. And
if you feel great about it, that's fine.
It's fine. Like I do not have a problem with what anybody else wants to do at the end of the day. Like I'm very happy and content in my own skin, and like, do you?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Exactly. I just hope this provides a little bit about what we do, maybe how we view the lens of beauty and skincare and things like that.
Yeah.
And if this doesn't resonate with you, that's okay too. With you, that's okay.
Yeah, it's just what we do. So yeah, hopefully it helped, and we'll see you on the next episode.